2023, I was invited for a 2-day event in Isha Foundation. And I was one of the very few people who was allowed with camera on, and that allowed me to actually see Isha Foundation. And this video is going to be divided into 2 parts. First and foremost, my vision or my perspectives of the entire foundation based out of Coimbatore. And second, the actual vlogs that we took, whereby you can also see views of the foundation based out of Coimbatore and how the life of volunteers there look like, why have volunteers actually left very interesting roles to become the volunteers there. As I am on a chai break, as always I am there. If you are new to my channel, then on my channel I talk about careers, I talk about MBA in consulting, and I talk about lifestyle. So feel free to hit on the subscribe button, and if you like this video, would appreciate certain likes as well, as it's a huge motivation for me and my larger team who is actually part of this mission, as we impart free education on my YouTube channel whenever we are doing cheers with all of you on chai. So as I start my reflections with respect to my experiences in the Isha Foundation, I would like to divide them into 3 parts. Which are those 3 parts? Number 1, let's just talk about the economy. So if you really look back and try to understand how nations' economy are actually driven, for example, you would be very clear to understand that America's economy is war driven, which means that if there are wars taking place in certain parts of the world, for example Afghanistan, America largely in most of the circumstances wins. And when you look at economies like that, are they infrastructurally driven, are they trade driven, are they war driven? When I landed in Coimbatore for the first time for this invite in Isha Foundation, I was mesmerized, I was astonished, and I was frankly really wowed how the entire economy of Coimbatore actually surrounds with Isha Foundation and Sadhguru. After landing at the airport to picking up my bags, to the hoarding boards on the airport, to sitting in a taxi, to even eating marvelous dosas in Coimbatore, everything revolves around Sadhguru and Isha Foundation. And it is something which was really commendable, that the economy of the place, the livelihood of that place revolves around that place. So that's one of my key reflections about the Isha Foundation and how they have an ashram in the outskirts of the city. Point number 2, which left a very stark impression upon me, which was about the international diversity. So for the 2-day event where I was invited, there were people from Ghana who were invited, there were people from Israel and Tel Aviv which were invited, there were people from Lebanon who were attending that retreat. And it really left me mesmerized how wellness as a topic and how Sadhguru as a leader of that foundation has been able to connect the world or bring a lot of international diversity at one place, whereby people were talking about meaningful topics, and not just with respect to the kind of people who were invited at the foundation, with respect to also the volunteers who were interacting with us and who actually shaped our experiences there. So for example, I'm right now in touch with a volunteer who has studied at Columbia University. At the end of the entire video, you will be able to see the entire script of a person. By script, of course, I don't mean scripted. It's an interview with the person who left her ISB MBA offer to actually become a volunteer, and what kind of rationale did she have to become a volunteer at Isha Foundation. From an Economic Times journalist to, in fact, a leading model based out of Mexico. So that level of international diversity, that level of cultural diversity, that level of exposure diversity was something that even as an entrepreneur, I was really mesmerized and impressed, because it's something that I am developing in my education venture, Global Governance Initiative. The third reflection and the most important one, I would say, is about wellness. People go to these ashrams, people hear Sadhguru, or people associate with these foundations because as the world is moving lonelier and lonelier, the social media entire case is rising, people are becoming more envious of each other, there is more anxiety in this world. People in such circumstances move slowly and steadily towards these ashram. It was largely a 2-day event, and I decided to stay for 1 more day. I had my own personal reasons. I had a very good time, frankly. It was peaceful. I got to spend some time with myself. Having said that, I am personally someone who doesn't require these ashrams to find myself or to connect with myself, and I'm very sure that someone like Sadhguru will, for example, also agree with me. It's almost like coaching class. that you could crack IIT exam or you could crack GMAT or CAT exam without a coaching class, right? However, certain people require that extra push or require that mentorship. So it is an answer that you crack for yourself. So I had a good time, but at the end of the journey, I realized that I am good with the meditation practice that I actively follow or the kind of wellness practices that I have. So those are the three reflections based on my perspective, based on my experiences at the foundation in Coimbatore. I've been told that they're opening a new ashram in the outskirts of Bangalore. Good luck to them. And with that, we are going to see vlog and the foundation through my eyes, as I was one of the very few people who was allowed with camera on in the foundation. Cheers. So we have been invited to meet Sadhguru at the Isha Foundation. Naman and I, we both have been invited. I am at the Gwalior airport. From what I understand, I think it's a very small airport. It was conventionally a defense airport, and now it's been opened up for the public and the regular passengers as well. It's going to be a 2-day retreat. There are going to be leaders who have been invited from business and society both. I look forward to experiencing the retreat, experiencing ashram in Coimbatore, what all we are going to be doing there. Spirituality is a topic that personally I have been exploring since a long period of time, and I really look forward to seeing if the ashram's experience, Isha Foundation's experience can contribute in some way or the other on my journey towards spirituality. So yeah, really look forward to this experience. I'm first going to Mumbai and then I'm going to reach Coimbatore, and then tomorrow the entire retreat and the experience is going to start.
From this side you have to
Okay. So we are going to the welcome gate. We came last night to the cottage, and now we've been asked to go to the welcome gate now, check in, and then there is a school of Isha Foundation. We have been invited to go there and visit, so look forward to the experience. It's a very beautiful ride. It's really hot and sunny here. Coming from northern part of the India, you feel that an entire state has been changed. So yeah, look forward.
Our school it started in 2005 and we had only 2 blocks over there. And now, as you can see,
How many students are studying here?
right, currently we have 350 students, and the teacher-student ratio is 1:5.
Oh my. Hi, so we are at the Isha Foundation's school, and it's a very beautiful, it's a very calm campus, and I got a brief chance to interact with few of the girl students here. Pretty interesting school. It's an all-art school, and they teach a lot of interesting things such as martial arts. They teach dance to them. They also teach mathematics to the students. We asked the fees is somewhere around 1 lakh per annum. Seems on the premium side. They are preparing the students as per them for the universe, if not for the university. A lot of their students come back and become brand ambassadors. It's a new idea. It's a very interesting idea. I like how the entire student community is dissociated from the city. There is a constant narrative, I think, common amongst the girl students. They are in the age bracket of 18 till 13, that they like being free, they like the clarity they have, they are not put under a pressure, there is no competition. While at GGI also, for example, we have created a very collaborative and a kind community, I also wonder what could be the real world jobs or real world careers for these students as well. Very good school, good idea, but of course would always be keen to understand what kind of real world pragmatic examples or careers could be for these students. So yeah, we are at Isha Foundation right now. Hi, so we just met Sadhguru. Largely the phones were not allowed during the session, but it was a very good experience. This is the day 2 of the Isha Foundation. Sadhguru took almost, I would say, a 2-hour session with us, largely Q&A. I have seen his videos before. I've been personally reading a lot of interesting books, so it was good. I would not say it was really ground-shattering. I think that's a good news for me, largely because I've been following my own spiritual path. But he has a very good, very positive vibe. There was a new announcement about Conscious Planet. I completely align to that entire narrative that people should be more conscious of their belongings, of their feelings, of their emotions. Not belongings, I correct that word, but it's been a very beautiful day. I largely skipped yoga and gym that we were supposed to do in the morning. I think perks of or downsides of being a CEO while you are at the Isha Foundation when you are called here. There are a lot of people who are invited here. We had a very good time. We are now going to head for lunch, but yeah, that was our time directly with the Sadhguru, and this is the entire ashram.
And inner well-being also. And you know, bringing forth all the lost culture of India towards.
But I like how it's just not culture, it's science and mathematics
everything,
combined.
everything combined.
Oh,
Yeah,
is
let's
that
just go
the
there.
okay, good, sure. Thank you. Namaskar.
The Isha Foundation, this is the Devi Puja, and people are high not on hash, not on whiskey, not on drugs. This is high on devotion. Why don't you show them how people are high on devotion? When people are high on devotion.
When I got shortlisted for ISB, I thought like, will I be able to dedicate this, like will I be happy if I go for an MBA? Because I love reading books. Maybe MBA could have given me the opportunity to work with libraries or making books in publishing industry, but I wanted to, I didn't know like what I want to do, who I am, what are my talents apart from reading books. So I wanted to give a break to me and explore the different options that I could have in future. What is my innate talent? I wanted to discover that. So that's where my inner journey started. So now I think like I'm ready for life. After spending 6 months here, I'm much more balanced. I can handle any situations. You just put me anywhere. I'm not stressed. I do not get hyper. Yeah. And I've learned I've read the user's manual of life.